Hi everyone, and welcome to a new season of Louisiana Focus. I'm INDYA Davis. Tonight we will cover students' reactions to campus COVID testing. We also speak to freshmen about their unusual first year of college. And we give you a behind-the-scenes look at crawfish season. These stories and more coming right up. UL Lafayette announced last week that they will begin random COVID testing for faculty, students, and staff. Tonight we found out what UL Lafayette students have to say about it. Our Madeline Serna has more.
I'm not necessarily sure if it's the most effective route. I guess they're definitely trying to take a step in the right direction.
UL Lafayette recently implemented a new policy stating that all faculty, staff, and student workers must get random mandatory COVID tests. Eventually, students will have to fall to this policy as well.
Also, I can see how mandatory random testing can be upsetting towards certain people because it's kind of like an invasion of their privacy, I guess.
While some students agree with the university, some also do not think it is a smart move.
Probably not, but then there is the fact that there are negative and positive results that can be coming out, and that there is also false negatives.
I think the random COVID testing is not very beneficial to faculty and staff and students because it takes the freedom away from them and their privacy and their medical privacy away, and I just don't think it's a very smart choice for the university.
Even though some people may think it's an invasion of privacy, the university is firm in their decision to lower the number of positive individuals on campus.
But also, it's just, I can understand both sides of it. They just want to make sure they're keeping the campus life and students and everyone safe.
We reached out to ULL's Office of Human Resources for comment, but they did not return our phone calls and emails. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Madeline Serna.
Making the switch from high school to college is a change in most students' lives. But what factor has COVID played in this new chapter? BREAUX spoke with UL students. He files this report.
The start of a college career is seen by many as a rite of passage, brim with optimism. But now that positivity has been replaced with caution as COVID still remains at large and freshmen see little to zero face-to-face interaction.
You get out of high school thinking that you're going to be walking around on campus and everything, and all of my classes have been online thus far. I think I've only had one class on campus, so it's pretty tough.
And with COVID flipping the learning experience, there goes extracurricular activities.
There's a lot more events that would be going on around the union and stuff just for students randomly out of the ordinary, and they haven't been happening because of COVID.
With COVID taking away a lot of the expected things that come with college, I guess you could say the freshman experience hasn't been exactly what these students were expecting.
There have been things that I couldn't go to, like baseball games or even football games, because there wasn't enough tickets, or just getting to know the university itself. I don't really know my way around campus, and it's my second semester here.
It's not too bad, but it's definitely not what I expected.
While freshman year didn't live up to expectations, some students still see the glass half full.
My freshman year was pretty interesting. Didn't really do much, but I'm glad to be in college.
From Louisiana Focus, I'm BLAISE.
Our Lady of Fatima schools as a COVID-19 vaccination site for faculty and eligible citizens. Lydia Alacala has more on this story.
It has been a busy few weeks for faculty and staff at Our Lady of Fatima as their school became a COVID-19 vaccination site.
They did the faculty, and they said if anybody in your family, your spouse, were interested to come. And then this week, that was last week, now this week I got an email and it said that we got a call from Pinhook Pharmacy and that they were reaching out to all the schools, and if anybody else on our faculty needed to be vaccinated, or they knew people who worked in the school system, to get the word out.
As government rules go, the first people to get vaccinated are our seniors, with the rest of the community coming next.
Mainly, people age and older. They opened it up to us, you know, the 60 and over. But then everybody was allowed, but they wanted to make sure that there were enough vaccinations for people who said, yes, I want to do this.
For some Fatima faculty members, the vaccine has been a sigh of relief after many months of fear.
I think anything we do is going to help, and I like that they gave me an option. And there are some that feel like they're having a hard time coming to work and they're worried about it. Their spouse may have health issues. So I think that's wonderful. It's going to put a lot of people at ease. I think it will help.
With the number of new COVID cases in Louisiana slowly decreasing, Ms. Dugas sees herd immunity right around the corner.
The more we get it, the more resistance there's going to be just naturally. So that's what I think is happening. But of course, you know, if people are ill, they need the vaccine. So I'm excited for people who feel compromised in their health. My son has diabetes 1 and he was ready to get it. You know, he feels better about it. He had his 2 rounds and he's doing fine. He's in the medical field, so.
As the virus still looms, many people are anxious about returning to a life before masks and social distancing.
We were told that this was going to be a season, and I feel like this season, the delicate, fragile season has passed, and I think that people need a little normalcy.
For the latest updates on COVID-19 in Louisiana and for information regarding vaccination sites, visit ldh.la.gov. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Lydia Alcala.
With the history of defeat, the ULL's women's basketball team has done it again, has finally done it. Dawson D'Amico has more.
On February 27th, the Lady Cajuns defeated the Little Rock Trojans 60-32, capping off a 13-game win streak and taking home the team's very first conference championship in school's history. Chad Thomasy, a student manager for the team, explained the hard work and dedication that everyone put in to get this team to where it needed to be.
With the players, the coaches, managers, just everybody really put in a lot of time to this team. So this is kind of what we expected the outcome to be. But it feels good knowing that all our hard work that we all put in went into something.
Much of the success is rewarded to ninth-year head coach Gary Broadhead, and Thomasy credits Coach Broadhead's basketball IQ as a huge factor in this team's achievement.
Some of the adjustments I see him make in the middle of the game and just his knowledge of basketball is very high. So it's definitely a very good coach for this team, and it's a pleasure to be around him.
Winning the championship is absolutely cause for celebration, but this team has much larger goals in mind besides winning the regular season. Now, the Cajuns are expecting an invitation to the NCAA tournament and to be a part of March Madness, and Thomasy claims that this team has what it takes to keep up with the other teams in the tournament.
That's some of the best girls in the country, so it's going to be tough, but I think if we stick to our game plan, we might have a shot for an upset.
The Cajuns will find out if they have been given a bid into the tournament on Selection Sunday on March 14th. In Lafayette, I am Dawson D'Amico with Louisiana Focus.
No matter how much COVID tried to stop it, the Raging Cajuns had a season for the books. Our Travis Boutan has more.
For a while, it seemed as if LSU dominated Louisiana college football. This season, however, was different. A new team took over and broke their own records. The UL Raging Cajuns. UL's record-setting season started off with an upset victory against then-ranked number 23, Iowa State. This win boosted the Raging Cajuns into the top 25, their first national ranking since 1943. UL then went on to beat Georgia State and Georgia Southern until taking their only loss of the season to Coastal Carolina. Although COVID canceled 2 of their games, this UL team achieved something that no other UL team has ever done. They finally defeated their long-term kryptonite, Appalachian State. For Raging Cajun fans, defeating Appalachian State was probably their favorite moment of the year. However, the players have a different win in mind as their favorite moment of the year.
I'd say it was one of them. That and Iowa State, you know, a bunch of people against Iowa State, you know, we weren't picked to win by many people at all. And just going out there on the first game of the season on College Game Day, right after College Game Day, you know, going out there on national television and proving ourselves, you know, putting us on the map.
For the first time in school history, the Raging Cajuns notch a road win against a ranked.
The Raging Cajuns ended their season with a 10-1 record and a number 19 top 25 appearance. With COVID altering our way of life, adjustments had to be made from the typical seasons that came before.
We might have had one of the longest fall camps we've ever had in our lives, and it was worth it, honestly. We went through the grind, went through the process, and the season was even longer. With the game cancellations and games getting pushed back.
The Raging Cajuns went on to beat University of Texas at San Antonio at the First Responders Bowl, a perfect ending to a complicated and surprising season. We'll have to see if UL can repeat or improve next season. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Travis Boutin.
Everyone knows that balancing a job and home life is not easy. But how do students balance school and a job? Hannah Adams has a story.
As a college student and an employee, times can be tough to keep everything together. Kim Biado tells us how University of Louisiana Lafayette Career Services can help.
We try to give students advice and guidance in both resume writing and interviewing so that they can have a successful job search.
After talking to Biado, we spoke to Louis Prejean, employee and senior at University of Louisiana Lafayette, as he gave us a taste of how to balance school and radio producing.
Necessarily a knock on, like getting greased.
Prejean says off camera that he does get overwhelmed sometimes, but at the end of the day, he knows it will be okay. Everyone working while in college, keep your head up, because it is all worth it. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Hannah Adams.
Crawfish season is here, and many southern Louisiana residents will be hosting crawfish boils or going to their favorite restaurants to enjoy the fan-favorite food. But you may not know what all goes into getting the crawfish from the fields to your plate. Tim Didier has more.
Here in Roberts Cove, near Rain, Dwayne Gosson runs a family-owned farming and crawfish operation.
Rice and soybeans, crawfish was just a few acres here and there. Within the last 15 years, it really became big time.
As the popularity of crawfish has risen, so has the demand and the resources put into harvesting the mud bugs commercially.
When all of these restaurants started coming up and they started selling a lot of crawfish, we were busy. We were very, very busy.
Crawfish farmers need a lot of equipment, starting with traps. Lots of traps. Hundreds of them. Next, they need bait to set the traps, and specially equipped boats to set and to collect the traps. They also need purge tanks, used for the initial cleaning of the crawfish. Next, they go to a second cleaning, before being sorted by size using a specially constructed conveyor belt system, where the crawfish are finally put into sacks. At this point, the crawfish will be either loaded onto trucks for immediate delivery, or placed into short-term cold storage.
But it was nowhere near like this in 1989, 90. We did have crawfish, but it wasn't like this. We just used that as extra money stuff. It was more rice and soybeans. But right now we're using, crawfish is a big production now for the state of Louisiana.
With farmers like Gosson hard at work, you can be sure that when spring rolls around, you'll have plenty of your favorite seasonal shellfish to enjoy with family and friends. For Louisiana Focus, I'm Tim Didier.
That's all the time we have today. Louisiana Focus is a co-production between the University of Louisiana at Lafayette and the Acadiana Open Channel. Our teleprompter is BLAISE, our director is Matt Bowers, and our faculty advisor is Assistant Professor Patricio Salinas. And I am India Davis. Thank you for watching Acadiana.